the bullying issue. Because school that when an outsider comes in, we need to resolve this immediately. They resolve the bullying issues. If she's going through this, what about all other kids around? They might be going through the same thing. So how can we help and support these young kids? Sikh community is such a great community. They are out in the whole world helping and supporting people. But when it comes to their own kids, I've just felt they're left alone and no one is helping, supporting them. There was time they bina sochan to, bina planning to, I just printed a leaflet saying Sikh helpline, and I gave my Jithiapa and Gurukar din our flat the number, phone number, I gave the number, and then I said, please call us if you are going through any bullying, any racial discrimination, whatever problems in schools, phone karke, we will voluntarily come and help you. The आले दुआले बर्मिंग के सारे पासे प्रिंट करके ऐसे लीफलेट रखे हैं गुरुकार दे विच. And the shocking news is I started getting calls from Birmingham, Wolverhampton, Coventry, call on like the boy has been bullied, then we got drug issues, and then we got alcohol issues, discrimination issues. Kei tarah de calls on our helpline, and I've personally been running this for the last 10 years, from 1995. From that 10 years I ran myself, and then when I realized there's a need for these services, because a lot of kids having problems, we had 1-2 professionals who are working in the social services joined us, then we got a small team built up together, and then in 1914, I think, 2014 or 1914, we charity registered the Sikh Helpline as a charity with a charity commission. At that time, we had got three what we call this, trustees. Sare padhe likhe trustees. One of them is done a PhD in neuroscience. One of them is engineer, and one works in the financial side. Then we built a small structure for the helpline. We got an operational team where we had a lot of professionals join us together to develop the helpline, because Sare people need this help, because a lot of people go our culture values, Sikhi karke, and we invest in society. A lot of people are suffering in silence. So in that sense, they need a place where, in confidence, they can call and talk to someone. So Sikh helpline shuru kita hai. And as we go on, we see the need is so much that we started getting calls from domestic violence, alcohol, mental health, suicide cases. We only see helpline. And then we got people working now for the helpline. We got 4 people working in rotation, picking up the calls. Then we got a full administrator, and then we have also got 1 outreach worker who works in Bradford at this moment. Oh, Bradford because last 1-2 years we realized in Bradford, in the period of 8 months, we had 6 to 7 suicide cases of our young kids in Bradford, Leeds, Yorkshire area. And it was shocking to miss such a small period of time, and we had 6 to 7 youngsters who committed suicide. So we got 1 outreach person there who's going to go out to Gurdwaras, go out to community centers, Punjabi schools, give them the awareness that help and support is there. We got about 80 to 90 volunteers all around the UK who helps and support in the Sikh helpline. This is our basic structure of the Sikh helpline. The calls we receive from domestic violence, alcohol, mental health. Actually, what happened is, I remember I was in the office. We got a call of a young mother, or one of the ladies who went through a very bad divorce. And she was on her own. She was standing 8 stories up in the balcony. She was ready to jump. And somehow she gave a call to the helpline and said, look, I had enough of life. I got through a bad divorce. My community is not supporting me. Half of them are sort of blaming me for it. I had enough. I'm going to take my life. We managed to calm her down. We got the police and ambulance to the house. We managed to get the address, and she was taken to mental health support. And we had a call from the police at that time, and they think that Mr. Singh, your husband did a good call, because if you are half an hour late, she could have jumped down, because She had only written a suicide note. She only closed her bank accounts. Then she was prepared to take her life. So there's a lot of issues in our community, even alcohol. You'll be surprised to know, again, we'll be talking about a lot of men drinking alcohol, but nowadays we even got ladies who are alcoholics. The last time I got a call, she was only 18 years old and she was an alcoholic. And when I asked the young girl, I said, you're 18 years old, how did you reach here at the age of 18? And then she said, my dad drinks alcohol, comes back home and fights with my mom, and I see all this fighting and hatred at home. To suppress my pain, she said, I started drinking my dad's alcohol at the age of 13 years old. So can you imagine, they are putting a nail in her coffin for her future. So this young girl, she said, at the age of 18, I'm already an alcoholic, and I don't know what to do. When I saw one of the Sikh helpline clips, we play some of our clips on Center Television. She was watching one day in Center Television about alcohol, how it destroys your life, and so on. When she saw the short clip, that made her realize that this is not the journey I want to go on. And she actually called the helpline for help and support. She said, I don't know who to turn to, I cannot go and ask anyone for help. She was suffering in silence in one sense. But the good thing is we got some professionals who are alcohol anonymous. They work for other organizations and they also volunteer with the Sikh helpline. She told the girl that, look, you don't have to come out from your house, we'll come to you, we'll help you to get off your alcohol by giving them some kind of medication for the first period and then slowly got off alcohol. So there's a lot of issues in the community and that's what the helpline is all about. And if you're looking at the calls we receive, I think majority of the calls are more, like last year our main calls are all on mental health. We have a lot of alcohol calls which are coming in and still coming in and will not stop coming in. But I think the community should get together and try to do something for alcoholics, mainly weddings and so on. You know, one of the young girls, I think she was about 25 or 26, she was alcoholic. We had a small gathering meeting. Now, we questioned her, said, why are you drinking alcohol? Why are you destroying your life? What is the real matter you had going through? And she turned around. Her mom and dad also was right in front of her. He said, Mom, and the mom and dad were sort of, that why are you drinking alcohol? It's not good for a girl to drink and so on. You are destroying our name, destroying our and so on. And this young girl, this is for something for the parents to think. This young girl turned around and she said to the parents, said, Dad, do you remember when I was 5, 6, 7 years old, you take us to the wedding parties? And sometimes when you are drunk, Mom had to drive us back home. Dad, Mom, do you remember sometimes when you drink and Dad will drive us home? Sometimes some uncle will drive us home because we had a lot of alcohol. He said, you are my role model. If you are doing this, why are you questioning me for this? And that was the question she put towards the parents, because the kids are going to pick up the parents' habit all the time, most of the time. And that young girl also, we helped and support her at that time. Once we received a call, I think this lady, she went through again a domestic issue and she had a 10-year-old son. She was so depressed, she started staying at home, not going out at all. Also trying the son, because the mom is depressed, the son decided to stay at home. And he never go to school more than almost a year or 8 or 9 months. And the school education started sending letters to the mom saying, you're a bad mom, we're going to take you to the court, you should take your son to school. Not realizing the problem and issues she's going through. And the mom came to such a state that she decided to take her life, and she decided to take her 10-year-old son's life. She said, I don't want him to suffer the way I'm suffering. And these are real life stories. These are not history or something which did not happen. These are happening, whatever is happening here in UK. And the mom went into such a dark area that she wants to take her life and the son's life. And somehow they managed to call the helpline. Our helpline lady went down to the house, spoke to the mom. It took us 2 months just to win the trust of the mom, because she lost the trust in all the system and society. She managed to get the son to the school he wants to go to, and after some time we called down the social service who's in charge of her case. She was an English lady, do not understand the Sikh value or value of their culture or what the mom is going through. We the social lady and we actually went into detail and explained to her what did the mom go through. Why she's like that. After explaining to this social service lady, she was in tears sitting down in the house and thinking that where we're supposed to be helping her. We are sending her threatening letters that we take you to the court. And that's where the social service actually helped the mom. At the moment, the mom is back to work and the son is back to school. So these are the kind of help and support we are giving out there. I don't want to go too much into detail. We got a stall out in this corner. I think if you go out on the left-hand side, there's a room, and there's many other organizations there. I think you should go down whenever you get opportunity, and you should try to understand each organization, what they are doing and how they are helping. That is because, if I give you one more example, there was a mom with a 15-year-old daughter. Somehow she got involved with a Muslim boy in the school. They had a relationship, and when the father find out normal apne maamle ko pata hai do chipeda mar ke kena baitho ghar de vich hai, he locked her in the room, and the Muslim boy called the police saying that there will be an honor killing at home. You need to go and save this girl. The police came down, took the girl out of the house. I think where she's most safe. She was taken out of the house and they put her into a safeguarding house. When they contacted the mom, when she contacted the helpline, this is what the mom said. She said, I've seen a lot of organizations, but I never go and ask what they are doing, how they are helping. I was thinking in my heart that Sanukade Lord it will never happen to my family. We don't ever need the services. He said, now I need the services. Now I don't know who to turn to, who to ask help, where shall I go, who shall I get to get my daughter back. That's where she realized she needs the help. So there's a lot of stalls happening out there. Please go to individual stall and find out what they do, how they help. Maybe you might not need it today, but your neighbors or your friend or someone might need the help and support. You can give them the same information. Now the same lady, what the helpline did was we managed to get a solicitor on board, got her from the safeguarding house, which we feel is not safe, into her friend, family member's house. One of the family's cousin, we managed to get them in the house through the social services. And then in 2 weeks, we sat down, we showed her the 6 stages of grooming, what will happen, how they win your trust, how they control you and so on. After about 6 to 7 months, 6 to 7 weeks, she's staying in the house, she decided to come back home. And then she broke off from the Muslim guy and then she was on the right path and today she's fine. So there's a lot of different cases and there's a lot of services out there. You know, I had a call, I remember this about 3-4 years ago. A mom called, she said the son is an alcoholic. She makes breakfast and served the son. She said the son was just staring at the food for 45 minutes because he was high on drugs. He doesn't know what's happening. So that kind of situation, she said, I'm taking him to India to get him cured. And I told the mom, I said, why are you going all the way to India? India, in Punjab, I'm sure all of you all know the issue of alcohol and drugs in India. I said, why are you taking them there? There's a lot of services here in UK itself. And she doesn't even know. She doesn't even know any services in UK. And I told her that there's a lot of organizations, charities who help and support these young kids who are going through drugs and alcohol. And I put her in touch with one of the organizations in 6 weeks to 3 months. The boy was cleared from his alcohol. They're giving him 9 stages of counseling and he got him off alcohol and drugs completely. And anyway, I'd like to say thank you very much for the organization who organized this event. I think it's very, very important because until we don't bring the awareness in the community, in the society, we will not know what's actually happening. Okay, Ji, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.